my project is gonna give me more gray hairs than I already have. Yes, guys, you've probably been following my project that I've been doing, and yes, it's been going pretty smooth, but there are some issues that have come up, some real rookie moves that I had, and some extra money that I had to spend, and I want to save you these headaches when you're doing your renovation, specifically out here in Hawaii, so that you can learn from my lessons. So let's save you thousands of dollars and tons of time by learning the lessons that I learned in this video. So stick around to get all the details. See you on the other side. Whoa. Before you start that renovation project, please learn from the mistakes that I made. In this video, I'm gonna show you a couple mistakes that I made that cost me some money, cost me some time, and cost me a lot of Advil because I have so many headaches from these issues. So if you do not wanna have these issues, make sure you stick around. I'm gonna give you all the details so you don't have to make the same mistakes that I made during my renovation project, specifically out here in Hawaii. All right, guys, so like I mentioned, I've been working on my live-in flip. I got some videos right here, and I'm gonna be making a new video showing the progress. We're almost done, but I wanted to take this time to show you some of the mistakes that I made that cost me a lot of time, money, and headaches. And I want to share them with you because they're kind of specific to Hawaii. So if you're doing renovation projects out here, this will definitely help you in avoiding those same mistakes and issues I made. So that's what we're gonna cover today. Before we get into that, let me quickly introduce myself if this is your first time here. My name is Patrick Longley. I'm a licensed real estate agent and investor out here in Hawaii, helping buyers, sellers, investors, and military service members with their real estate needs. Now, again, in this video, I'm gonna show you some of the mistakes that I made, but if you got any value out of this content, do me a huge favor, smash that like button as well as click the subscribe and notification bell so you get notified whenever I drop videos like this. And if you have any questions about my process with renovating my project, or if you're looking to buy or invest out here in Hawaii, feel free to reach out to me. I've got my contact information right here, or you can directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. So with that being said, let's go down this laundry list of mistakes that I made, why it was an issue, how we overcame it, and how you can avoid doing the same thing. The first one, delays. Delays. We came across a handful of delays, even when we tried to avoid them, and that's something to be expected. And even our contractor told us when it came to certain things, because we're out here on an island, everything needs to be shipped out here. Most things that are at Home Depot or Lowe's, they may have some in stock, but they might not have all the tile or the flooring that you need. They might not have the same color that you have if you're trying to match the flooring in the actual house already. They may not have the appliances that you want. You see that they're actually there, but they actually have to ship them over. So the key thing is to plan accordingly, because a lot of the times, for example, if you want to purchase a new fridge, it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks to get here minimum if there's no further delays. And also, if you're purchasing things off Amazon, again, you're gonna wanna order all of the things that you need. Like we purchased our faucets, our handles, shower heads, fans, outdoor lighting. There was a handful of things that our contractor said we're responsible to purchase along with the appliances. So we ordered those things all up front, which was great. But Amazon, as you know, sometimes they'll say that it's coming, it doesn't show up, they say it was wrong, it was broken, what have you. You want to make sure you allow plenty of time for those items to show up and order them way earlier than you think, because the worst thing that you can have is contractors that are working and they go, hey, I gotta install these faucets, where are they? And they're delayed. And then they stop working on your project and go to a different project. And that's what we found ourselves happening is the appliances showed up because we ordered those way ahead of time, but Amazon, we kind of delayed. We're like, oh, we only need these things now, instead of just ordering all of them right up front, which is what we should have done. Additionally, on those delays, one of the big things out here is going to be tile. We had basically a 4 or 5 week pushback on our project, which cost me a handful of money because of holding costs on waiting on our tile that was special ordered. It was only supposed to take 4 weeks. It ended up taking 8 or 9 weeks to actually show up, which stopped the entire project completely, because without the tile, they couldn't put down the tile, they couldn't put down the vanity, they couldn't do the toilet. It just stopped everything when we were so close. So it's so important that you really look into the material that you're gonna need, that the contractor is gonna ask you to get, which is gonna be flooring, tile. Those are gonna be things that are special ordered. The appliances and anything that you're getting off Amazon, like fixtures, fans, things like that, make sure you order those up front and right away. The second thing that I would keep in mind is that your project is going to, it never fails, will go 20% over your budget and 20% longer than you're anticipating. So just if you have that in your mindset, which I did slightly, but I kind of didn't believe it at first, if you keep that in your mind, you will not be super upset when it actually happens. And it naturally happened with us. We basically planned on putting in a fence. we figured it was only gonna be a couple grand, and that fence was gonna be about $17,000. So that went over our budget of what we were initially thinking, but that was our mistake. And additionally, the time delay when it came to getting the material pushed back our project about that 20%. It added about a month and a half of actual work. It might have been actually more than 20%. But if you have that mentality, you won't be super bummed when it happens. So just keep that in mind. But all those delays in time costed me money because I was paying 2 mortgages. The third mistake I made was getting the right size fridge. So when I checked with my contractor, I said, hey, does this fridge work? My wife loved it, I loved it. It was the right width, it was the right height. What we didn't check for was the right depth. So it actually fits inside there, but a couple inches was sticking out. And again, it takes 4 to 8 weeks for these appliances to show up. So it just pushed back our project even longer. And the reason why was we didn't get counter depth fridge. That's the key word, ladies and gentlemen, counter depth. If you want it to be flush, and you guys are probably all going, yeah, duh, I didn't realize this. Counter depth is where it's flush. We didn't look at it, we just looked at width and height. We didn't look at depth, and it showed up and it just looked really ugly. So we had to return that, get a new one. Fortunately, they did have one in stock. We were super lucky. So we were able to avoid that, but just keep in mind that you generally are gonna want counter depth if you want it to be flush when it comes to the refrigerator. The next big issue we came across was the farmhouse sink. So everything was going great with our project. My wife was saying, yes, only thing I really want is a farmhouse sink. She told me a million times, she told the contractor a million times. And when we ordered the cabinets, the contractor said, hey, here's the layout, does this look good? We said, yep, looks great. And you can see the photo right here. There's no reason for us to think that it wasn't gonna work. It was all the cabinets that we thought and everything was great. They installed them, they were about to put the countertops on top. And when our contractor asked us, which sink do you want? He didn't show us anything that was farmhouse. He showed us a couple stainless steel ones, but they were not farmhouse sinks. And it wasn't until later that we figured out that you actually need a custom cabinet for farmhouse sink because it sticks out, as you can see in this photo right here. So I came to save the day, as my wife would like to say, and I had to go down to the cabinet store. I had to buy a new cabinet that was custom made. They were able to do it in like 2 or 3 days. Cost me a couple $100, which sucks, but I got my wife what she wanted and now we're super happy. But again, that did push some delays, added some extra costs. So the lesson here is that if you want a farmhouse sink, keep in mind you're gonna need a custom cabinet. It's just not a standard drop-in. So those were all the issues that we had, which are pretty minor compared to some that I've heard in the past where you open up walls and you see way bigger issues show up. We did a pretty extensive job, so we knew that we were gonna be having to fix a lot of things already, and we accounted for that. So really we just had some delays, but those delays did cost me money in holding costs, as well as having to buy new things twice if it wasn't right, AKA the cabinets or the fridge, and dealing with that whole situation. So all I would say if I was to summarize everything is, number one, always order your material up front, way before the contractor even needs it, so it's there on time. Because there's nothing worse than you having to wait or the contractor having to wait to get something done because they don't have the material. Number two, if you're going to be ordering anything special order, which is gonna be 80% of the time out here in Hawaii, if you're gonna get any specific tile or flooring, it's gonna be special order and it's going to take 4 to 8 weeks. Again, over plan and order that stuff up front. Don't wait till the contractor says, okay, we're ready to install tile. Should we go pick it up from Home Depot? Because it's most likely not gonna be there. You need to plan accordingly for that. Number three, again, with delays, appliances are always gonna take 4 to 8 weeks out here. So I'm telling you right now, they're not gonna have it in Home Depot unless it's a scratch and dent. If you want a brand new one, you're gonna have to wait most of the time 4 to 8 weeks. So plan accordingly for any appliances. And the last one is for your own sanity. Add 20% in time and 20% in cost when it comes to your project from the initial quote that you got. Something always comes up. It's just what happens. So with that being said, I hope this saves you time, money, and headaches. If you got any value out of this, do me a huge favor, smash that like button as well as click the subscribe and notification bell. And if you guys have any stories or anything that you think that would be great to know before getting into a project, put it in the comment section down below. I know I would love to hear it. I'm sure all the other viewers who might be doing renovations would love to hear it. So feel free to share. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Got my contact information right here, or you can directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. I'm Patrick with PatrickLongleyRealty.com, powered by eXp Realty. Hope you have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.